Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to another episode of the Catholic League Forum. I'm Mike McDonald, Director of Communications at the Catholic League, and joining me today is President and CEO of the Catholic League, Bill Donohue. Bill, another very busy week this week, so let's just jump right into it. But one of the things that we're kind of noticing across the board is that there's growing attacks on people of faith coming from government quarters, for lack of a better term. I want to start with a teacher out in the Auburn School District in Washington State, the ironically named Kelly Love. She was on the Twitter machine and she saw a tweet from one of these great associations that's fighting for parental rights, and she says she couldn't disagree with this more, that letting teachers forcing teachers to tell parents what's going on in the classroom about their kids is evil, because in her words, the parents are Christo-Fascists. So what did you do about that, and what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, she said we have too many Christo-fascists in the nation.
Yes.
It's even beyond even these particular people out there in the state of Washington, which would have been bad enough. But now, if you want your child to, if you want to know about what your child is doing, and if you want to know what the teacher is doing, you're now a fascist, but you're a Christian fascist. Now, quite frankly, I looked at their equity policy at the school district, and that runs against everything that they stand for. So I wrote a letter to the school superintendent. I've not heard back yet, but that was just this week. And I want to know, what are you going to do about it? I mean, I gave an example. What if they made the comment that Native Americans were Christo-fascist? I think you would have had some swift punishment, but it shouldn't turn on ethnicity. To call Christians as a group fascist because they believe in privacy rights, and they also believe that the child belongs to them, and they want to know what's going on in the classroom, it makes you wonder how this person can stay in good standing in the classroom.
Absolutely. And again, speaking of government attacks on people of faith, we're noticing a bit of a trend here, but this week we focus in on Vermont. Vermont, the state legislature, state judiciary committee, Senate judiciary committee in particular, is taking a look at a bill that would bust the seal of confessional, that would make priests mandatory reporters and gets rid of any sort of privilege for something that they would hear during confession. So we got involved in that one as well.
Yeah, and next week we're going to address the one in Delaware. They're toying with this in the state of Washington, Kansas, Utah. It looks like it didn't go anywhere. The same woman, Angela Romero, tried it last year. Look, this is a red herring. The idea that if you're a child abuser, are you actually going to go to confession? I mean, these people are morally debased in the first place. The priest will go to prison before he ever divulges that. So there's a myth out there that I've asked this, whenever this happens in other states, I've always asked one question. Where is the evidence that priests learn about the sexual molestation of children in the confession? Can you name me one instance? Surely out of the whole country, somebody must have come up with one. There isn't any. It's a myth. And beyond that, it's a violation of the First Amendment. This is the state encroaching on religion, busting the sacrament of reconciliation.
Yeah.
And even furthermore, I would say this, what do they expect? Do they really think they can win on this? Are you going to go after the lawyers now? They have a privileged relationship with their client. What about the psychologist and his patient? What about the journalist and his source?
Yeah.
Are you telling us that only the priest-penitent relationship is going to be busted? They're setting themselves up for a lawsuit, and we've won in the past on this, and hopefully more sober minds will prevail here too.
Yes. Bill, on this, I'd just like to throw out the Diocese of Burlington. They've been doing a very good job. They've actually also been very responsive to us.
Bishop Christopher Coyne.
Yes, he did a great, very strong testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee up there. And they're a small little diocese. Vermont's a small little state. But they are fighting the good fight.
Yep.
And it does seem like there is some positive developments up there as
well.
Well,
we're glad to support him. He's a great bishop.
Yes, and it's great to work with people as well that are very strong. So, and again, they are little plucky little underdogs, but they are fighting the good fight, and so we should all keep in there, keep fighting, because that's the only way we're going to win. Now, Bill, I want to close. There's a couple of holidays coming up this month. St. Patrick's Day is obviously the big one. You've got your shamrocks. I've got my green tie on that. But there's a couple of other little smaller holidays that are probably worth noting out. Today, March 10th, is apparently Abortion Provider Appreciation Day. So this is a great day to celebrate intrinsic evil. Really bad stuff. This is being put on by the Abortion Care Network, and they want to show love to all these people that are
They say
doing
this
evil.
is loving.
Yeah.
See, this to me proves that I know there are some people who are reluctantly pro-choice. Okay, I understand that, but this proves that there are some people, the activists, who are rabid enthusiasts of abortion. They're pro-abortion. They're not pro-choice. Okay. So if they believed in choice, they'd be in favor of adoption and letting the woman know about in the sonogram what's inside of you. They don't believe in those choices. So the why you would celebrate abortionist, that's a pretty sick menu for me.
Yeah, it is. It is an intrinsic evil.
Yep.
And what are we going to have next? Slave Owner Appreciation Day.
Right,
Other things. Are they going to? It's beyond the pale. But there is some goodness out there in the world. Sunday, March 12th, is Detransition Awareness Day. And a lot of good things are coming on that front now. I'm sure a lot of people a couple years ago hadn't even heard of the term of transgender. So, Bill, can you tell us a little bit about detransitioners?
Sure. I mean, of course, transgenderism, it is an ideology, and I'm glad more people are picking up on that. We were amongst the first to talk about that. Look, the idea that a man can become a woman and vice versa is madness. You can't do it. You can't change its chromosomal makeup. You can have all kinds of things cut off in your genitals and like, but they can't change biology. Now, people make a mistake, okay? If you let the young people go through this stage, they're confused. 80% of them will decide not to transition to the other sex, quote. Well, the therapist and the medical community, some of them, are making a lot of money. Yeah. Encouraging them, hurry up, quick, go ahead and change. A lot of them are girls. Most of them are girls. It's the girls going to become the boys, not vice versa in most cases. Now, some of them have decided, my God, what have I done to myself? What have I done to my body? Yeah. And 4 or 5 years later, they want to detransition back. Well, guess what? How they're received. Instead of being welcomed, they are being booed. They're being jeered. They are treated like dirt, with scorn by their friends, by the therapists, by the online community, because they're traitors to the cause. These poor young people, mostly young girls, need the compassion and love, all right, which they never got in the first place. Is why they got into this kind of situation. They want to detransition, go back to their nature-given, father-determined sex, all right? It's not, sex is never assigned. It's never assigned. It's always determined by the father, all right? It's nature. You can't change nature. You can fight it, but you will always lose. All right? So we should welcome these people Sunday, March 12th, instead of worrying about the Oscars and what they'll be out there with their obscene gestures again. I mean, maybe there'll be more violence this year. I don't know. Maybe they're locking them up. I mean, they're all gone crazy out there in the land of fruits and nuts.
Yeah. Well, seeing there's about 5 people that watch.
Yeah,
the
we don't
Oscars
really.
left,
Nobody watches it
no
anymore.
one really watches. This would be a great opportunity to actually do some good that day. Spread a little bit of joy and love. People that actually deserve it, because like you mentioned, a lot of them are bullied and abused and frequently just overlooked. So, Bill, I think that's a good point to wrap up right there. Dear viewer, if you are interested in anything that we talked about on the show today, do check out our website, CatholicLeague.org. We'll have a link in the description below. And while you're there, you find a lot of great ways to get involved. You can sign up for our emails and become a member. 2 things we greatly appreciate. And also, if you could give this video a like and subscribe, that'll help us get the message out there. We greatly appreciate that as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.